Okay, so this is probably the longest video we'll do, and it takes a second to set up your notes. So what you want to do is you're going to take your 2 pages. You want it so the blank where it says 2-step is looking right up at you, and then you want it to say where it's 1-step, where the multiplication and division, you want to have it right over there. Then you're going to take your top, and you're going to fold over just so that the 1-step goes right above it, the addition, and then you can grab a stapler. If you want to do it before you take notes, you can do it before. Just make sure you put a staple real close to the top of the top. Then you're going to take your scissors and fold it over. Feel free to hit rewind to see this part again, because it does go a little fast. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to do solving equations with rational numbers, meaning fractions and decimals. So our first one we're going to practice with addition and subtraction. So we're going to open up to our top tab, and we're going to add like so. So same rules apply. Always do the inverse operation. So for number 1, we're going to subtract 2 6/10. Remember decimal points, we need to line up. So A will equal, and we're just going to subtract, and 8 and 6 make 14, carry that, and 8, negative 8 and 4/10. Over here, number for 2, we're going to add 4 and 9/10, add 4 and 9/10. Remember, I have 0 pairs, so we're really going to think about subtracting, so B will come out to be negative 3 and 8/10. Over here, we're going to add 8 and 5/10, but uh-oh, where's my decimal point 13? That's right, it's to the right. So I'm going to write 8 and 5/10. And we're adding, so we're going to have 0 pairs here, so I really want to think about subtracting. So that 3 becomes a 2, so it's 12, 10, 5, 12 minus 8 is 4, so it'd be negative 4. Next up, subtract 7/10. 7/10. And we're going to subtract, I got to borrow, 13 minus 7 is 6, and then we have 14 and 6/10. So much fun. Alright, now comes the fun part, fractions. So we have negative 1/4, so I know I have to add 1/4. So we have 3/8 and 1/4. We've got to get common denominators, which is going to be 8. And I multiply by 2. And we have to add. So 3 seconds, 3 plus 2 is 5, 8, so equals E. Next up, we're going to add 5/6. So we have 5/12 plus 5/6. Need common denominators, 5/12 plus 10/12, because I multiply both by 2, right? And we have 15/12, and we can make that a mixed number of 1 and oh yeah, we'd have 3/12 or 1 and 1/4. Next up, subtract 5/9, and we'd have 1/3 minus 5/9. We've got to find a common denominator, so 5/9, 9 times 3, and so 3 minus 5 is negative 2 over 9 would equal G. And so we have to move this over, so negative 3/4, so we want to add 3/4. So I have negative 11/12 and 3/4. Common denominator should be 12. 4 times 3, 3 times 3 is 9. Negative 11 plus 9 equals H to equal negative 1, 6. Alright, now let's do some 2-steps. So much more fun, right? So we're going to use 1-step, multiplying and dividing. So we're going to divide by negative 8/10. 8/10. And we can have, I guess that's an I, not a J. I will equal 16. Now I want to divide by 4. Divide by 4. Now remember, if we get stuck and forget how to do this, we can do 14/8. Divided by 4, that goes 3, 2, 8, 7, and we know J will equal negative 3/7. Next setup, I like to think about these, you can think about them as proportions. you can put this over 1, so k times 1, so that'd be k, equals 7 4/10 times 3 1/10, and that needs to be negative. So k should equal negative 22 94/100. Then we want to multiply by negative 9/5. And I'm going to multiply this guy by negative 9/5. Remember, two negatives times two negatives, when we multiply, make positive, so m equals 77 9/10. Alright, so remember, we're going to divide, and remember, really what we can do here, remember when we divide, so like, really we know we would take 25 and divide it by 5/7, and 25 divided by 5/7. And remember when we divide, we really multiply by the reciprocal. So let's save ourselves some time and just multiply by the reciprocal starting off. So my reciprocal here is 7 over negative 5. 7 over negative 5. So now I have 25 over 1 times 7 over negative 5. I can cross cancel. And I get negative 35 over 1. Same thing, we're going to cross canceling and using the reciprocal. So I have negative 8 times negative 7/4 over 1 times negative 7/4. Cross cancel, negative 2, 1. Negative 2 times negative 7 is 14 over 1. So P equals 14, forgot to go over here, and equals negative 35. Having fun yet? I know I am. Alright, so we're going to multiply by 7/5. 7/5. Negative 10 over 11 times 7 over 5. Cross cancel, negative 2. So we have negative 14 over 11, or Q will equal 1 and 3/11. And that has to be negative because that was negative. And we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Nope, not that. It's not the reciprocal. Negative 2 is the reciprocal. So I want to take negative 1/6 times, and that's going to cancel out to 1, 3, negative 1, or 1/3 equal R. How I can figure out reciprocal. All right, 2 steps. Same kind of deal. We're going to remember our reciprocal because that's going to help us a lot. Okay, so we've got to remember that we need to first add. So that'll be 2, carry the 1, 4, 5, equals 3s, divided by 3 5/10. And s would equal 7 2/10. We want to subtract 3/7, or 3 7/10, sorry. And remember, we're not going to have any zero pairs because they're both negative. So 8 and 12, 32 8/10. Negative though, negative 8t divided by 8, divided by negative 8, and t would equal 4 1/10. We're going to add 10, add 10. 2 equals 1/5 u. And remember, we want to do the reciprocal, so 5. And u should equal 10. Subtract 5. 9 equals 3/4 v. Remember, multiply by the reciprocal. And 9 over 1 times 4 over 3. Cancel 3. 12 over 1 equals v. Or just 12. Remember, we can use the distributive property for this. This might help me out. So I'm going to use 5/10 y, or w. Half times, that'd be 4. Add 4. And then we're going to go 2. Divide by 5/10. W would equal 4. Alright. Let's set up the next one. I'm going to let you do this one by yourself. I want you to come show me when you got that one. I want you to come show me when you got that one and that one. You may use a calculator for that. All right, good luck.